I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how do I grow my business in 2023? I know, that's the question everybody asks right around the end of the year. Everybody goes, how can I grow my business in 2023? I'm gonna give you exactly what you need to do in 2023 to grow your business. Let's roll. The first principle to really nurture is your social structure. By social structure, I mean everything that is around you. You see, your environment either takes energy from you or it gives you energy. How you set up your environment would determine how much energy you have every single day. And that is why it is so critical to surround yourself with the right people, with the right things, with the right structure. So it's not only limited to your friends, it actually means your love partner, means your parents, means your kids, means your friendships. How are they set up? How is the office that you go in? How is that set up? What are the senses that are being triggered as you walk into your office? Do you have the right smell? Do you have the right music? How is it that you have set up your day that you are designed to get energy from the day and not actually lose energy through the entire day? A lot of people think that they can just set up a great morning routine and have a great morning. That would mean they would have a great day. But we all know that's not true. You could have a great morning and a crappy afternoon and a worse evening. So what you're really looking for is a structure that not only fuels you in the morning, which can be done through morning routines, but you need something that fuels you in the afternoon, in the evening. You want to be fueled, and the best way to make sure you're fueled all the time is you set up autopilot structures that are around you that just automatically fuel you. What is that music that you're listening to? Is it something that talks about how the world has gone wrong or heartbreak? Or are you listening to music that actually uplifts you? Are you reading books consistently so you're fueled up? Or listening to books consistently so you're fueled up? Are you listening to the right kind of podcasts? Are you watching the right kind of YouTube videos? Are you consuming the right kind of content that will allow you to feel better than and not worse than before you consume that content? Have you created structures and boundaries around how you will communicate with your family, with your parents, with your friends, with your loved one, with your cousins, whoever that you're interacting with? Have you set up structures around this conversation that you actually feel more fueled after the conversation instead of feeling drained after the conversation? There was an experiment that I did a few months ago where I wrote down every interaction that I have in parties and different places. I wrote down every interaction that I could possibly remember, and I started rating those interactions, those people that I was interacting with. And I found that about 30% of the interactions that I was having was actually not positive or formative. These are not interactions where after the interaction I felt more empowered. I actually felt a little bit drained. And so I asked myself, why am I in these interactions? Are these interactions because I have a loving dialogue and a loving conversation, this is an act of love? Or am I having these conversations because, I was not intentional about it. I never set a clear boundary. I never really understood why I was in that relationship with that person in the sense of friendship and so forth. And so as I questioned all of that, I found that it was because I was not intentional about my conversations with these individuals. I led myself to getting into relationships and partnerships that were not fulfilling. And so I ejected myself from those partnerships because I want to make sure that I'm always fueled. Let's go to the second principle, and that's the 2 C's. So let's talk about the 2 C's. You see, these 2 C's are so important in your coaching career. You're going to need these 2 C's with you throughout 2023. The first C is clarity. A lot of times we don't know what is the exact niche we'll be working on, what's the exact product we'll be selling, how will our coaching packages evolve, how would we sell something, where will we find our clients, and that's perfectly okay. What you're really looking for is clarity in the moment. Are you clear about what should be your next step so you can continue to move further in the direction where you will find the real clarity? You don't need to know exactly who your client's going to be, how you're going to sell them, where you'll find them, how much money you will make. It's okay to not know those things. But what you do want to know is, can there be some sense of clarity that can create momentum in your business so you can start making some progress? Having no sense of clarity actually limits you in being able to take confident action, to be able to take action that will create real results for you. So if you want to win 2023, you want to find some clarity in that moment at least, even if it is not a clarity or a piece of clarity that would stay with you forever in your life. It's okay if your niche changes 6 months from now. It's okay if your package pricing changes 6 months from now. It's okay if anything else changes for you in 6 months from now. What you're really looking for is clarity in this moment. And the second C is for confidence. You see, confidence is one of those foundational skills that we all need to be able to move towards our target. And you don't want to feel into confidence, you want to develop confidence. You see, a lot of times we tell ourselves, oh, I don't feel confident right now, or I feel confident in this moment so I can really perform right now and I will use all that I have right now in this moment. And what happens with confidence as a feeling is that very often that feeling is not reliable. You may wake up one day and feel confident, and then another day you might wake up and you may not feel confident. How do we build a business? How do we create something successful that will be and continue to be successful over time if we can't rely on it? And that is why we want to develop confidence as a skill, as an ability that you tap into for delivering a particular task. And if you really think about confidence, it's true. Confidence is a skill. You are confident in brushing your teeth because guess what? You have been brushing your teeth for a long time. You are confident driving your car. When you first started driving your car, you were not confident, but now you are, because guess what? You've been driving your car for a long time. And that's really how you want to approach your coaching business. You don't want to think about finding the ultimate confidence in you taking action. You want to find confidence in imperfect action, in your ability to do something, to know that in time you will get really good at it. And as you get really good at it, you will find the confidence that you are good enough right now to get this party started so you can win 2023. The third principle to win 2023 is to follow pain and to follow money. Here's what this means. You see, every time you make a purchase decision, you sign up for something, it's because you have some pain that you want to resolve. There is some dream that is unfulfilled, or there's some need that is unmet. And as you want to fulfill that need, or you want to fulfill that desire, that dream of yours, you would say, hey, let me invest in something that can help me get this result. So you want to follow what is painful in that moment for somebody or for some organization. And you also want to make sure, if you are offering your services, that that particular organization, that particular person also has money to be able to afford to solve that pain. So you're looking for a balance of pain and some ability to solve that pain. Now, one of the simplest and most powerful ways to approach right now, based on where the world is going, where 2023 is going, is you want to approach companies and organizations. Companies and organizations have a tremendous amount of pain because they're struggling at many different levels. They're struggling because now they're working with Gen Zs who have a very different working style and different value system than millennials, who has a very different value system than Gen Xs. They also are concerned about the upcoming inflation and the health and well-being of their company because of that inflation. There are talks about recession that may cause the company to go bust. The competition has increased. People's behavior has changed after COVID-19. There has been a lot of things that have changed over the past several years. And so companies need more help. They have some real pain that they need to solve because of changing marketplace, adaptation of products, and so on and so forth. So they have a real pain. And guess what else do these companies have? They don't only have that pain that they need to solve, they have some cash flow. They have some money to invest in solving these big problems that they are either experiencing right now or are likely to experience in the coming months. And as you lean into working with companies and organizations, you're going to lean into principle 4, and that is called the 10% rule. This rule says that every single time you're able to enroll a client fairly easily, you're probably underpricing yourself. And so you probably need to increase your prices by 10%. The reason why 10% is the ideal number that you want to move your pricing by is because it's not only that it kind of gets you to test the next version of pricing, but also what I've found through experience is that most people cannot find the confidence between themselves to be able to increase their price significantly. You see, when people say, oh, double your prices, triple your prices, it sounds really nice like an idea, right? Mathematically, it sounds so amazing. But when we actually go out and say those prices and say out those words, a lot of our stuff comes up. A lot of our stuff that is programming from our past jobs, or whatever it might be, comes up. And so we kind of either don't make the offer really strongly, or even if we make the offer, we backpedal and start giving discounts and adding bonuses, or we do something to basically sabotage that beautiful offer that we just made. So my invitation is to not try to double, triple, quadruple your prices. Just increase your prices by 10% every single time enrollment becomes too easy. If the enrollment becomes too easy, it is potentially because your value proposition is too high and your price is too low. And so because your price is so low, people are saying yes much easier to you. And while that sounds really amazing, it's not really a good idea to have that much of a difference between your pricing and your value proposition, especially if you want to increase your business. When you move your pricing up by 10%, what you're doing is you're building confidence in your pricing. You're never really doubting your price, because you're not trying to double your price and triple your price overnight. You're simply trying to move up your price by 10%. And then every single time you enroll, you simply bump your pricing up by 10%, 10%, 10%. There will be a point where you will have maybe 6 or 7 conversations and only enroll one person. And that's a good place. Every 5-6 conversation enrolling one person gives you about 20% conversion rate, or 20% yeses to all the offers that you make. So when you're getting about 1 conversion out of 5 conversations that you're having, it means that you're probably balancing out your value proposition and your pricing. And that would be a good place to stay at until you start proving that your value is actually much higher. And that would require you to reform your offer and present your offer in a different way and position your offer in front of different people. And then you can again start playing the same 10% rule and start bumping your price up again. Now, it's important to note that 10% is an arbitrary percentage. If you're already selling your programs for $100,000, you may want to bump your price by 5%. If you're only charging $100, you can even bump your price by 50%. What you're really looking for is a percentage that feels right to you, where when you say your price, it feels comfortable, it feels confident, and it lands really well with your customers and your clients. Because when that happens, your enrollment will continue to come in, and you will not lose confidence in your pricing, but every single time you bump your price up, you'll be making more money while doing the same amount of work. And the final principle is play the why game. You see, one of the things that I've loved and I've learned from different trainers and educators is, instead of asking how something needs to be done, ask the universe why something will happen. See, the question fundamentally shifts the part of our brain that gets activated and part of our spirituality that gets activated. The moment we ask the question of how can I grow my business in 2023, all our past programming, past data starts to propagate, and we start to go, okay, how? I need to know exact step by step, and I need to know exactly what I need to do so I can write down the perfect plan that will give me exactly how I will grow in 2023. And while that may sound like, well, Ajit, that's all I got, what happens then is we limit what's possible for us because we only know what we know. We can't lean into the infinite intelligence. We can't lean into our subconscious. We cannot lean into the infinite potential. But when you ask the question of why will my business double in 2023? Why will I make so much more money in 2023? Why will I have so much more time in 2023? Well, that question invites us to challenge our identity. We go, why? Why is it that Ajit is going to make twice as much money in 2023? Why is it that Ajit is going to be able to have even more love in his life in 2023? Why is it that Ajit gets to have bigger stages in 2023? When we ask the why question, we allow ourselves to tap into the infinite potential, the infinite wisdom that is available to us, because we are asking a broader question. We are asking why, as in what should be our identity? Why is it that this is all manifesting for us, as if we assume that it's already happening? So ask yourself the why question. Play the why game. Why is it that you get to have more abundance? Why is it that you get to be on bigger stages? Why is it that client enrollment is so easy? And it will tune you in to finding that new identity, the new version of yourself that will allow you to really be able to create the outcomes that you want to create in your life. Now, while these strategies will help you grow your business in 2023, there will be a lot of times that you will get in your own way. And that is when these coaching questions will be so helpful to you. Go ahead, check out my next video where I show you the exact questions to ask yourself when you are blocked and coach yourself through those scenarios to create an even better result. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.